Hey, I've had a few people asking me about these vinyl overlays, as I'll show you over here on my Pirates of the Caribbean. I did the lockdown bar with this vinyl where I wrapped every section of it, including the legs actually on mine, and the side rails. Well, today I've got one here. I wanted to show everybody this is actually fairly simple if you've had any experience putting graphics on before. A couple things you'll need: obviously the paper towel, tape, a squeegee. You can get these from auto supply stores. I will also include them in certain orders. If you order 2 or more, I'll send you one for free. And what I have here is actually a soapy water solution that will clean the grease or anything off of the lock bar. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all set up. What I'm going to do now is just clean it. And I don't think you guys need to see that, so I'll be right. Okay, so now I've taken the time to clean the lock bar. Rubbing alcohol will also work very well. There's a couple different ways to apply this. The way that I typically do it is I peel all this backing paper off, just to start it to the side there, and just simply lay this semi-centered onto your vinyl, the adhesive side up. And what we'll do is we'll just fold this section over. This is all air release vinyl, so you don't have any issues with getting bubbles or wrinkles or anything like that with it. And I just keep going around, get everything pretty well snugged up. And I take one sheet of this paper towel here, and I just wrap this squeegee up with it. This will just help for the squeegee to glide across it a little easier. You won't scratch your vinyl graphics with it. Of course, all these vinyl graphics will have lamination. These are the same graphics that I use for vehicles and planes, boats, all kinds of things. So you shouldn't have to worry about any of that. As you can see, I have vinyl graphics positioned on here. This is just a simple black and gray gradient here. And I just work out any bubbles going from one side to the other. The trickiest part on this are the corners. Now, if you want, you can trim along these edges here. I choose not to do that. What I do is I actually cut with a razor knife or razor blade, whatever you have available to yourself, at a couple points and simply fold over. And I trim all the excess, of course. That's just trash. You don't have to worry about it. And then I duplicate all of this for all of the straight sides of the graphic. This just makes sure if you trim directly to the edge, you could get to rub up a little bit if you hit your waste on it, or if somebody can pick at it a little bit easier, so if it's someplace en route possibly. Typically these things are done for people that are keeping these in their homes though, like myself. One more thing that you're going to need I forgot to mention is some sort of a hairdryer heat gun actually will work a lot better, but I find that a lot of people actually don't have a heat gun accessible to them. I'm in the business of this, so I keep them on me at all times, and I have access to them pretty easily. So what that does is it heats and allows you to stretch the vinyl, like I said, over these, I guess you call them problem areas that are the corners. Now I'm going quickly through this. There is, of course, you take your time. You don't necessarily have to get any wrinkles in it. I'm going to go fast on this one though, so I might get a wrinkle or two there. It's really no worries. You don't see them that too closely. But let's see if we can't get that one out of there. This vinyl is extremely forgiving. And you just heat it up a little more and it will do what you need it to. Always follow up anything you put down with the squeegee. That makes sure all the air bubbles get right out of that. And then for this, I do the same thing I do everywhere else. Just make a bunch of cuts and just keep tucking that stuff in there so that it is as secure as possible. This is not a piece, obviously. The backside, you don't see it. It gets a little ugly on the inside here, but like I said, you're not looking at that, you're looking at the finished product. Picked a dull blade, of course. That was not the wisest choice, but it's all I had available at home today. And there you go. As you can see, everything's secured well. It's all down. There are some wrinkling around here. Obviously, it can be avoided if you take your time a little more. I'm going to go ahead and get this side done off camera, take my time, and show you when it's complete. Okay, so went ahead and took my time a little bit longer on that one. Still managed to come up with a wrinkle myself here. You can see it in certain lights there. It's a little bit difficult to see actually, but it happens. You know, but this is the finished product. Now I want to let everybody know, obviously, any imperfections, the weld points that you would have here, anything that you see on the actual lock bar itself, you're going to see through the vinyl. The vinyl's not that thick where it's going to cover up any issues that you have. If you come back over here to my Pirates of the Caribbean here, you'll notice I do actually have these wrinkles throughout this one as well. Corners are tricky. Can't do much about that myself. I've been doing this for about 17 years with vehicle lettering. And when you get tight corners like that, there's not a whole lot you can do. Looking back at it from a distance, everything comes out fine. Everything looks really good. Get a lot of compliments on it. But I'm gonna point out, of course, everything to you guys instead of just pretending as though everything looks perfect, everything works out great. You guys will be well aware that you could have issues with these. With every one that I sell, I'll give you guys also a piece of blank vinyl. It will just be white, no prints on it, to do a sample of. So you can test it out, see if you have no issues with doing it. If they feel comfortable doing it, great. If anybody does not and they want me to do it, I'd be more than happy to. You can ship it out to me at your cost and also have return shipping on it as well. But as you can see, everything holds up pretty well. That Pirates of the Caribbean one I have there, that's been like that for a few years now. So let me know if you have any questions.